Hey friends, it's Jill here with the Hometown Homestead, and today I am going to put Stella to the test, and I am going to show you how much I can pull into this thing and if they actually come out clean. So I ran 4 different versions of test loads with everything from a way overstuffed load of king size bedding to blankets and towels. And I also did a couple different versions of fleece blankets, which have been a question. Can it do it? Does it fail? And more. So if you're interested in seeing how this will work out for a large family and if it can complete the loads plus how long they take and what they weigh, I think this one's going to be for you. Are you ready, Tanny? Yeah. Okay, let's get started. So to get started with our test, I decided to wash all of our king bedding. We started with our king size comforter, which is actually a quilt style, so it's a little bit thinner. But I also added in a king size cotton blanket to go with it as well. Typically, I would not add all of this together, but I just wanted to see what would happen and how long it would take. So this load estimated on the bulky bedding selection at 2 hours and 11 minutes, and it was not done in that amount of time. It actually took 3 hours and 30 minutes. So quite a long time, but it was an absolutely huge load. It would have taken me a little less time if I had 2 pieces instead of 1, meaning a separate washer and dryer, and I stayed in here and stayed on top of it. But with this one around, plus a few others, sometimes we get busy and we don't get back here in time. So for me, that was probably about a wash, but depending on your laundry ability, you would be able to do this faster in something else. But the question is, was it all dry? And the answer is yes. Everything came out really dry and nice, and I was super happy about it. Was it dry, Chin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dry. Here, leave my shirt alone. All right, so then we moved on to the second load of the king bedding, which was the mattress protector along with sheets and pillowcases. We have several pillows on our bed, and I pulled them all in. This load also had an estimate of a little over 2 hours and did run long. With it being king bedding and having the mattress protector in there, the material between that and the sheets have a little bit different of a texture. And so what I've found before is that when you have something like a mattress protector in there, it will stay damp a little bit longer and the sheets will get dry a little bit sooner. But on this load, I let it run until it was complete. It took 2 hours and 45 minutes. I did pull out the mattress protector and flip it inside out. Are you going to go down? Okay. I did pull those out and flip them around by the end, just like I would have done with my regular dryer. It all was perfectly dry at the end, so it did get a pass, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Same thing, you probably could do it quicker if you're on it and not involved in other things, but if you want something you can just throw in and come back at the end of the day and it's done, this thing actually works. The next load that we moved on to was our towels, and I have absolutely huge towels. We have the bath sheet size. We had 3 of those in this load, and then we had 3 regular size towels. And normally that would be enough for me. I would probably stop there, but since we're trying to test it out and you guys want to know how this thing works, I decided to go ahead and add in a robe. So this is a full-size adult robe with the long tie that goes with it. And that entire load weighed just over 12 pounds. The estimate on the towel setting was 2 hours and 45 minutes. Because the towels are heavier, they take a little bit longer with the sensor drying. It ended up at 3 hours and 30 minutes, and everything was completely dry. And like I mentioned before, that's the advantage of having all of the fabrics be the exact same. Everything dries at the same time. So we were really happy with that towel load that it did pull everything together and get it done. Now, normally, like I said, moving with the smaller load, you're not going to have it take that long. I just wanted to give you guys a really good estimate of what it can handle, number one, and how long it will take when you do it. Do you like the washer and dryer, Chan? Do you like to start it? Are you going to talk? She's really usually rather chatty and insisted on being in here with me while I get this completed. So today she's just going to smile at y'all. Are you being silly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you is this fleece blanket. Now, this blanket is actually the reason for this entire video. I had somebody in one of the comments say that the fleece blanket they tried and theirs did not work out well. And I had the exact same experience at our house with this exact blanket. The first time I ran this blanket, I put it in with a twin comforter from one of our other beds, and it seemed to take forever. And I finally came to check it, and I pulled it out, and that fleece blanket was so heavy. It had not spun well. And as a result, only the comforter was drying. That fleece blanket was just holding on to so much moisture it wasn't going through. So I went ahead and pulled out the comforter and then started an entirely new, only dry cycle for that fleece blanket. Now, at the end, I thought, surely this is done. It took another hour, pulled it out. It was still wet. It was way drier because it started out with a spin cycle on the dry to throw out the extra moisture. And it did remove quite a bit just at that time. But then it still was not completely dry. So what I ended up doing with that blanket was going ahead and just hanging it over a door so it could finish drying for the rest of the night. Now, with that being my experience and somebody else making a comment about that, I thought, you know what? This is it. This is Stella's kryptonite, right? She cannot pull off fleece blankets. So I wanted to show you exactly what that looked like. With that being my intention, I threw this fleece blanket in by itself because I wanted to see just what it would do alone. Okay, so now you have the backstory. So I put it in on bulky bedding, and in 2 hours and 57 minutes, this fleece blanket came out completely dry and fluffy and warm and gorgeous. And I thought, total fail, right? That was not my plan. I had built this up in my head to be an epic video showing you what her kryptonite was and how this was going to fail. Not happening. So the next thing we did was put it on pause, and I waited all week to find a good time to get this set up again. Yeah, you're silly. I waited all week to find a good time to get this set up again. And so this morning I grabbed the same twin comforter, let go, Chan, which is up there on top of the dryer, and the same beautiful fleece blanket, and I threw them back in because I was going to show you exactly how terrible it came out. I threw it in on bulky bedding, and by the way, the time it was supposed to take was 1 hour and 54 minutes. 2 hours and 2 minutes later, so probably the closest of any of them on time, I came in here knowing I was going to be able to show you exactly how horrible this thing dries a fleece blanket when combined with anything else. And it was 100% dry. Epic fail for my plan, but huge hit for my dryer. The fact is, I think perhaps you just noticed that somebody likes to help me with the washer and dryer. Who likes to start it?
Me.
You do. And so maybe she pushed the wrong setting, or maybe I leaned into the buttons, which I often do, because I will fold laundry up here on top. And when you lean in, you can press buttons. So perhaps I pressed a button and didn't know it and failed to get the dryer running in the right direction. I don't know what happened, but for myself as well as the other person who had actually had this similar experience, I just want you to know that you need to try again, because Stella can do fleece blankets and with success and in a short amount of time. So all in, we got a color lesson in on the blanket with my little one, and everything turned out dry. So all of the big loads were successful. Now, if you're interested in speed, you can do it faster with something else. If you're interested in setting a load and forgetting it and coming back with clean, dry clothes, then this still might be for you. I know it is definitely for my family. And if I do come up with a kryptonite or something that it completely fails on, hey, what did you do? Something like that. If I do come up with something that it completely fails on, I will absolutely update and let you know. As for now, I have a load of shoes running in there and I have it on pause. Don't push any buttons, babe. Just so you would be able to hear me while I was recording. I've ran a couple loads of shoes in there and everything has turned out really nice so far. With my kids running around and getting in dirt and mud and everything outside all the time, I never know how tennis shoes are going to come back. So this has been a real lifesaver to be able to throw in the shoes on activewear. So thank you all for stopping by the Hometown Homestead. If you have any more projects or tasks that you'd like to see me put her to the test with, please let me know. And for any content homemade, homegrown, or homeschooled, please like and subscribe to the page. We'll see you back soon. Bye, friends.